All right. Welcome back to Back in Body Hurts Rave podcast, where we talk about all things EDM. I'm joined here with Sonny.
Hi, everyone.
And Yikern.
Hi, everyone.
Unfortunately, Christine is absent again.
I can't wait to hear her. Literally, we're going to have an entire segment dedicated because she was supposed to be back.
Yeah,
and
but
then
she's
one
not.
thing led to another, and now she's still there. And I need to.
She's having.
I think we're
she's
gonna
having
have to
fun.
get her to like document her raving activities there.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
much.
She's gonna have multiple when she comes.
Yeah,
back.
we're gonna have a dedicated Christine episode, Christmas special.
Yeah. Speculating.
Yeah,
But she is having a wild time. She
Yeah.
did tell us a lot of things.
Multiple events.
Yeah.
multiple events. She's with friends, like
Yeah.
friends during that time. So
Yeah,
it's like,
she's
it's
in
fine.
New York.
Yeah.
This episode's topic is what we anticipate the 2024 trends to be in E EDM.
Yeah, about a couple weeks ago we talked about genres, how to introduce friends, and we talked about like artists. But yeah, this is kind of like honing on that and what we think for North America mainly. 'Cause
Yeah,
that- where
yeah.
we're based, right? To see what
Sort
trends.
of like speculations. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this week was the big one of the big weeks that we've been talking about for weeks.
Yes, this was so this week we actually had a blast. We had weekends
This might have
we've
been one of the
had
best. Yeah.
in 2024, in my opinion.
2023.
And 2023. In my opinion, one of the best weekends of
Yeah.
Um,
So
Just so you all, the listeners know, Benny cannot stop talking about
yeah,
this.
this is it's been on my mind for a while.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
this that
it's
great
been the
of a
entire
weekend.
conversation of the last couple of days before.
Yeah.
After the weekend ended. But yeah, we've been hyping up the Maddox show, and I personally didn't go because I'm going to go be at Dream State next week, and
Yeah.
I have committed to see him at Dream State. So yeah, you guys. went?
Didn't I tell you like you should go to
You
Maddox?
should go to free up your Dream State schedule.
Yes.
Yeah, but they haven't released the schedule, so I don't know.
But that's the thing.
Yeah,
You-
well,
That's the
okay,
thing, man.
I'm gonna see Maddox at Dream State. I've committed.
Okay.
We have committed. I will when I come back and whenever we record that episode.
let's
All
hear it.
right. Okay.
So-
look forward to hearing that.
Yeah,
For
on
sure.
Friday we went to Maddox. Me and Yikern went to Maddox. That was at Nomad, and that was actually a really great show. The first maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes were a bit, not as fast paced.
I would say 45 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah, but after I was reading the clock. After 2:00, man, was it wild? It was such an amazing show.
How long was the set?
It was actually 2.5 hours long.
Oh,
Yes.
he played longer.
He
Yeah,
played
yeah.
extended minutes.
That's
30 minutes, right?
Yeah, extended 30 minutes or
Yeah.
so. Yes.
He played an extra 30 minutes. It was good.
Damn.
Yeah, he was loving the Toronto crowd, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? Let me just play another 30 minutes."
Yeah.
Well, at least
Yeah.
the closers let him, which is two.
He actually
Yeah.
said it on stage too, right?
Yeah, but then after he was finished, everyone just left, which is I kind of felt bad for the closing guy, but
it was sold out. How packed was it?
so entering it was really packed at first. Entering Nomad, it was packed like shoulder to shoulder. But once you
it was also cold too.
yeah.
So talking about last week's episode, we actually ran from the parking lot to Nomad as per usual, and we actually got in pretty fast.
yeah. Look, 'cause we cut the line. That's why.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
we
I
did
forgot
meet up with a friend of ours.
We went up. Our friend was in line, so we kind of met up with them and cut the line.
Was line long?
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah,
We
it
cut
was
the
pretty
line.
long.
Yeah, that's the one thing we said about Nomad. It was like the Toy Box S vibes, where it's like when it's sold out, it's like you guys didn't. I'm assuming coat check at the end was like messed.
No, we didn't coach check.
You didn't coach it, but just in
we
line.
didn't co check. Yeah.
So it was really busy at first, and it wasn't that fun at first. But then once everyone kind of settled in and Maddox started playing a set, everyone kind of like dialed in their spots and like I started dancing. But with the one thing I want to say is they have the Void sound system there, but it sounded really bad at the back of the venue.
Where the bar
like
is.
where the bar is?
Where the bar, like middle to the bar. It's
Because they have
audio
speakers
sucked.
pointing. They have speakers pointing at the crowd, so it's like in the center. Are you talking about like there, or are you talking about behind even that?
So you know how when you enter, before you enter the big main rave room?
Yeah.
So when you enter the main room, the bar is on the left, like just a couple of steps in front.
No, I'd say from the middle of the venue to the bar.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Like I was like,
And it's
dude, I
so
can't
crowded,
hear
so it's like,
anything.
okay, that sucks.
And then we made our way sort of to the front, and that's when it was the
I like
sound
the
was
front
really
left
good.
at. I like the front left at.
Once you pass the halfway point, the sound was really good.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, talking about code check and whatnot, we since Nomad changed into a single gender bathrooms, right?
So was that line?
Yeah,
was shit.
Bad?
the line was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, and like they tried to say that when you go down the stairs, the left side of the stairs is where the bathroom line is, and the right side of the stairs is where the code check line is. But it was so messy to the point that like people were coming up the stairs and going down the stairs.
And
like
bodying,
it's
it was-
people were bodying everyone.
Yeah, they need to figure that out. That's the one big gripe I have with the venue.
Yeah.
And now that they made it gender
neutral.
it's now all funneled in one. The problem is that it's okay. You say that, but where does the person go up the stairs? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
you
you
go
have
up
one
the
line
stairs
for
on
the
the
coat
left.
check, one line for the bathroom. Okay, once coat check is done, like most people are in the venue, then it's fine. Then you have one line to go up. But
It
then
was a
like,
mess.
but early on, like people were still coming in for the headliner, so like it's gonna be a mess.
And like people who code check, they think they're slick, right? So they see the line is long, and then they'll
They
tell
ask you,
people,
"Oh, you're
they
on."
say that, oh, I'm doing the code check line. So they actually go code check, and code check line is fast, right? So they go code check, and they
And then they button up
cut
the
it-
front.
they cut into the front to go to the bathroom.
Like, dude, I saw you, bro.
But Maddox is also the event that I brought two new ravers into to check Maddox out. So just to introduce them into a little bit of tech trance and so techno. They liked it.
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
good.
Yeah.
Maddox is
That's
good.
all you can hope
He
for.
plays everything though.
Yeah, I just love his classic remixes. That's what I'm dying to hear next week. Just give me that
Gasoline.
give me that. Well, no, not that one.
No,
I'm saying
no,
the
no,
four
no.
strings.
Yeah,
Give me the four strings at Hardwell Maddox.
Lose the what's that Armin song? Lose
Lose
this
the
feeling.
feeling, lose the
yeah, lose
feeling.
the feeling. Yeah, that one is good.
Yeah.
He did play that at the Nomad towards the end.
He played a lot of songs there.
He played a lot of songs, and towards the end, the last 30 minutes, my goodness,
Yeah, it was.
it was
BPM went up?
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it went up. He played psytrance.
he
It
played
was good, it was
psytrance.
good.
Oh my god, he turned
Honestly,
up
when
so hard.
when I left Maddox, I was like, dude, I don't even know how Fatima Haji is gonna top this, because Fatima Haji was playing the next night.
Right.
I'm like, oh, dude, I don't even know how. I was
You,
like,
you had that concern. I didn't have the concern
Yeah.
because I know that Fatima Haji is gonna throw it down because I've been dying to see her. I was manifesting this to Sonny, like listening to some of the Bernib set. I was okay.
That Vernep stuff was insane.
Yeah, that Vernib set was good, right?
Yeah.
And ever since then, like after I heard that Vernib set, I was going to the gym, playing that set.
Literally, we were talking
All
about
the
that
time.
week, and it's like, man, I hope it's booked. And then she was booked. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? But you know what? Like, one thing about this is that, once again, when Fatima Haji announced, we were excited because there's only really been one other hard techno booking in recent memory. It was Shlomo, and we had fun at Shlomo.
Mm-hmm.
It was
first hour
Thursday.
was good, I
The first hour was good. He kind of tapered off near the end, but like it's because it was a Thursday event. It was hard techno. It wasn't that crowded, so we were excited to see how.
but the crowd at Shlomo, everyone loved it.
Yeah, everyone. It's a Thursday event.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not a
Yeah.
normal concert goer isn't going to go Thursday event hard techno, right? So like I think everyone at that
Everyone
show,
was there, purist.
Yeah.
Purist, yeah.
So it was good. Yeah. Well, you guys were at Maddox. I went to another event
Yeah.
strategically. So
Before we talk about Fatima Haji, so what other event did you went to?
So I went to a drum and bass event. So one of the artists, Nia Archive, she's known for her. She has a couple popular songs like Bad Girls that's recently released. It's more jungle-esque music. So like DnB has roots in jungle. So it's but she does vocals as well. It was at McCormick Warehouse, so very underground vibes. It actually was like almost sold out too. It was pretty packed. But it was
Interesting.
It was a pretty
weekend. Big weekend. For
yeah, it was a
Toronto.
big weekend for Toronto.
If it is pretty packed, almost sold out. Did you say sold out? Did you say sold out?
It was, I don't think it sold out. It was like high tier. It was pretty busy and like it was movable, lots of like space, but like there was a lot of people. Like there was a fair amount of people.
Because like 131 McCormick is a big venue.
Yeah. So it was apparently it was supposed to be in like when you enter McCormick, there's that middle room, that smaller
Right.
room, and then there's the main room. It was actually apparently supposed to be in the smaller room, and then they opened up more tickets because it sold out originally, and they opened up more tickets and moved it to the main room.
Interesting. So who played the small room?
No one. It was just
It was just co-check?
It just ended up being co-check there.
Ah.
So I think originally it's like, oh, we don't need to use the back end space. We can just run the event in the smaller area, and apparently that wasn't the case. They couldn't do it. So they had to open up the back area. But yeah, it was a pretty good set. A little short, only an hour. But that's for drum and bass. Sometimes that's common. But like with the way her songs are, I would expected her to go like the energy. So what happened was like she was going. Her energy was insane. Like her stage presence is really good. She sings for certain songs. She kind of dances a little bit. So like the energy was like at like 50 member mark. The energy was like really good, and then all of a sudden she just stopped.
Where is she from?
She's from the UK, I believe.
Most drum and bass
Yeah,
from UK.
like they don't really. She doesn't like it was her North American tour in Toronto. Just having so it's her first time in Toronto too, and she's been releasing hits over the years.
Same thing with Fatima.
Yeah.
Same thing with
First time.
Maddox too.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of debuts this week.
Yeah, a lot of debuts.
Yeah.
That was his. I don't think it was his Canada debut. Was it Maddox?
No, I don't think so. I think it was definitely Toronto debut.
Toronto
I don't
debut?
know about Canada. Could have been.
Could have been.
But I feel like he's been.
Unless he went to
played in
Vancouver.
Montreal.
No, he hasn't played Montreal.
He hasn't?
No, because I think he's scheduled to play Montreal.
The day
This
after.
week. This
the
week.
day
This week.
after.
This week.
Yeah.
No, this week. Dream State weekend. He goes from Dream State to Montreal on the Saturday.
Oh.
So he's playing Montreal this week. So I think it might have been his Canada debut.
You sure?
Unless he played Vancouver.
No, I'm pretty sure he went to Montreal after his show on Friday.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. I swear I've looked at it. He's playing Montreal this coming week.
I don't know.
I don't know where he went.
Because I just feel like that's kind of weird. Why would you go to Dream State and then you come back to Toronto?
No, you come. Well, I mean, it's one flight. It's not that bad.
But you're.
I know what you mean. It's like, why wouldn't you just play Vancouver or something?
Mhm.
Right? But they booked him, right?
I don't know. I don't remember. So
Yeah.
we have to look at his lineup.
Well,
It's a lot of debut.
Not that important.
But
Yeah, the big one, Fatima Haji.
so this turned out to be way better than we all thought.
Yeah, the
Holy crap! That's all I can say.
it was literally one of the best shows I've ever experienced at Coda. The crowd was absolutely bananas. The
We had a nice little
openers-
group too.
Yeah, the openers and the closer, absolutely bananas.
Spencer Dunning and Ali K.
Yeah,
Well,
Ali K.
Ali
opened.
K opened and that was fantastic.
She set the vibe that 1
Yeah.
hour. So we showed up, I think, an hour before. Like we saw the last hour of her set.
Yeah.
But man, she was setting up that room so nicely.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and
Spencer Dunning.
Spencer
Spencer
Dunning
Dunning
closing. I ended up
closed.
staying for like the entire thing because
Yeah.
he was just. It's like balls to the wall hard techno.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I honestly, yeah, dude, we don't get a lot of hard techno, especially at Coda. And was it sold out? It
It was.
It ended up being sold out, but for the
It was.
longest time, it was at tier 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
that's-
was yeah.
Yeah, like, I remember-
it was sold out towards the last day. The day of Maddox, like Friday, it sold out there.
Yeah, because my one friend tried to buy a ticket, and it's like, oh, it's not there anymore. And I
Yeah.
think he bought it from you. He brought
They
it from.
went-
He
oh,
brought,
yeah,
he brought
yeah,
your
he bought it
extra
from me,
ticket.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
he brought your extra ticket, and yeah, but
Because I was still trying to sell that extra ticket up till Saturday, pretty much.
yeah.
And I was just posting. I was trying to ask people to come, and but no biters.
Yeah, so it didn't even seem that busy inside. Like it was
Yeah.
sold out, but like near like halfway through.
It was busy though.
But we
It was
had
busy.
a lot of room with our little group. We had a little hard techno circle. And
I was by myself next to the stage and like watching a DJ.
Oh, DJ?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
yeah, we were front right, and like we had like at least like 7 of us, 8 of us.
Yeah.
And we were all going like absolutely
Yeah,
crazy.
everyone was screaming throughout the whole.
Oh, yeah, I
the
literally-
whole venue without a doubt, without even a question in my mind. Everyone was just screaming because
Yeah,
it was so good.
I literally posted on my stories lots of screaming.
Yeah.
From like
Yeah.
like just screaming in general. People just screaming.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, she never lost the room.
Yeah, that whole okay. It was so funny because I think you guys were with me. 1 hour goes by, and like I'm having an amazing time. I check my phone to see what the time is. I feel like it's been like 2 hours that gone by. Check my phone. It's only been an hour. I look at Yikern. I'm like, bro, it's only been an hour. I'm like,
I was like,
dude,
yeah, that's a whole another hour.
Yeah,
Holy
it's like holy. That's when you know a set's good. When you're
Yeah.
like 50 minutes in, you're like, what the hell? That was only 50 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because there's two sides to it. You're looking at your phone because, like, oh, when's this going to end?
Yeah.
And the other time you're looking at it like,
Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah, there's still more time.
more.
You know?
Yeah. That whole time, I didn't want to use the bathroom. I didn't want to leave the spot. I was just there the whole time.
Yeah, that's when you know show's good. Like it was one of like I've gone to a lot of shows this year. It's definitely in my top, like maybe top 2,
100%
for shows. Like absolutely killed it. It leads into our main topic going into that we're going to talk about. But yeah, like just like the trend of hard techno at Coda.
Yeah.
Like I want more.
Yeah.
Like, we all want more.
It did start off like this year with what's that girl's name? The one with the ponytail.
The one with the ponytail?
It's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Wait, earlier this year?
Earlier this year, yeah.
Hard techno?
Or techno? I know Hector Oates was first.
No, but Hector
that's
Oates
not-
didn't
it's
play
not
at
hard
Coda.
Coda. I'm trying to think.
Coda. Hard techno. There's Lily Palmer.
Lil Palmer,
Lily
yeah.
Palmer, but that's more driving techno.
Yeah, it's not like hard techno,
Not hard.
but it's still a little bit harder than regular
yeah.
techno.
Okay, that stuff was a little disappointing though.
It was.
She did turn up like high energy in the first 30 minutes, but it tapered off pretty fast.
Well, she also didn't play 2 songs I wanted, which probably ruined it for me.
it was still a fun night.
Yeah.
It wasn't as memorable as Fatima,
and slow-mo.
and Shlomo was good for the first hour.
Yeah.
Enrico was pretty good.
Enrico was good. Yeah.
Enrico was good, yeah.
Yeah.
At Lily Palmer, I was still a baby
Techno
raver
raver?
baby hard techno-ish, towards the hard side. Because every time I always ask Benny in particular, when new shows come out that is somewhat hard techno, I always ask him to rate, like, should I go to this event? And he'll always say yes, but I'll ask the question. I'll ask the question, is this like a J Lumen type techno, or is this like a Joy
'cause
Hauser
it
type
varies,
techno?
right? Like
Yeah.
I don't like that upbeat techno, like funky techno. I don't like it. I like the grungier, harder technos. So like I wouldn't honestly I wouldn't go to a J Lumen for me.
I actually like
I actually like J Lumen. Like J Lumen was a lot for me, like tolerable at that time.
Tech.
Yeah. So for me, what sealed the deal for somewhat like techno-ish was pretty much Enrico. Enrico started it.
Enrico's sets are like a very nice journey. He's a fantastic producer. So actually, I don't know I've mentioned this. One of my favorite sets of all time was Enrico's debut at Coda. It was an electric night. Like it was that night. It was 2018, I think. I think it was 2019. It was his first Coda show. People have been asking. He released Biomorph the year before, which was like probably the best album that year, in my opinion. Like
Interesting.
Just technical sound wise, it was unreal. And they finally booked him. The show sold out in like an hour. And at that time, that was ridiculous.
Same thing with this show too.
But at this time, it was like, now it's like a trend. Now it's like it's common. For that show to sell out in an hour where they just dropped the tickets. They didn't have a sale where people bought. They just dropped the tickets and sold out in an hour. And he was competing with Prids that night at Rebel.
Wow.
And I remember the TRC debate after was like, people were spamming videos of both. And in the end, like, in my whole thing is like, if you weren't at Enrico, you kind of, and I'm a Prids fanboy, and I didn't go to that show.
You didn't go to Prids.
I didn't go to Prids because
You went to Enrico.
I went to Enrico, and it ended up being one of the most phenomenal shows I've ever been to.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good.
Like, just when he opened with multicellular on the Coda system, unfucking real.
It's hard, dude. That's a hard one to pick, Enrico or Eric Pritz.
I'm an Eric Pritz fanboy. For those who don't know, he is dad to me. And I skipped it only because to see Enrico's, I've been asking to see Enrico for a couple of years, and I could not miss his debut. And to this day, I do not regret that decision at all because it ended up being one of the best shows I've ever been to.
It's at Coda too. So
Coda,
that's a plus.
Yeah, and I was actually solo that night too.
Wow.
That was a solo night where no one else was on my bandwagon. I just went.
That's great. See, sometimes when you go to show solos, it's the best experience you'll have, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
great.
because you are in your own space. You're trying to. I've yet to try one myself, but ever since even though when I rave with some of my friends, and if my
Just
social
wander off
battery,
on your own.
if my social battery gets low, I want to like kind of recharge, so I like kind of leave the party. And when I leave my group, like I would dance at certain spots by myself because like I just want space and like airflow
And just vibe with the music.
yeah, and
right?
vibe with the music, and that honestly recharges you like pretty well too.
Yeah.
So, like for Fatima Haji to fully enjoy my journey to fully enjoy Fatima Haji, Enrico kind of sets me in with like I like techno. Like I understand techno.
You
as a
understand
flow.
why
I understand
it's
like why
popular.
you go to techno shows,
Yeah.
you know, and not listening to techno music on Spotify. you actually feel the journey. You feel the beats syncing with your heart and things like that. Or all this, or whatever metaphor you want to call it, but you have to be there to experience it. And then what really sealed the sort of the harder side of techno was Leanne Roberts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leanne
She's
Roberts
really good.
was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Energy was good. the
Energy
vibe
was good.
The music
Vibe was
was
good.
I think another thing is that I find like with hard techno, and you get this in dubstep a lot. Sometimes what makes the show is the group energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With just
for sure.
randoms too. It doesn't have to be with friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say dubstep has mosh pits. I'm not saying that type, but I'm just talking about just looking at the person next to you and like headbanging. Similar with hard techno. The motion in hard techno, for people who don't know, is you kind of like
Yeah.
clench your fist
Yeah,
and do a
pretty
hammer.
much, yeah.
But you can look at someone to your left or right and be like,
yeah, pretty much.
and it's like it's contagious.
I
right?
always
Yeah.
do the chopping board.
Or that too. Where you do that little chopping thing.
the chopping board, the punching too. That works.
Yeah, the energy is contagious. Like a
Yeah.
lot of times with a lot of these other, like even the other techno ones, everyone's just kind of dancing, swaying. The energy's there from the music, but not within the
In the
crowd. I
crowds,
find
yeah.
as much.
When I was at the next to the stage, I was watching Fatima like DJing. She would bring like the bass in every once in a while, and I would look over to the crowd. Everyone has their hands up, and everyone's screaming. It was fantastic, man.
yeah.
It was I wish you guys were there, man.
When she dropped that Masano,
Yeah.
the feeling. Oh my god.
I did actually going back to last episode how we were talking about living in the moment. I actually didn't really record any of
The
any of
sets.
the set. I only had like 3 videos, so that's how you know it's a really good set when they're just watching her do her thing and enjoying it and like really being there. Yeah, that was super special.
Yeah, that's it. One of the best shows probably of 2023 for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
It beats. She beats. It's on par with Kiki at Awakenings. That's how great it was. I love Kiki.
We've heard that many times throughout the
Yeah.
last couple of months.
Yeah.
5 hours of acid.
5 hours of acid. Let's go.
No, it's definitely up there for sure. I think near like we'll do a recap. I've done a lot of shows. I actually have a spreadsheet. I'll probably do a recap of what I thought the top shows were.
Yeah.
I include festivals as I don't want to. I usually consider club and festivals different because it's a different environment and vibe. So I'll probably do like a little summary, like a brief segment of like what my top shows were and like what based on the amount we went to. Because I also go to everything, so that's another.
Yeah.
I personally, I think I prefer club shows over festivals. Personally, I prefer.
I think with the festivals, it's more there's a whole lot of other factors, right? Like better production, stuff like that you
Pretty
have to
much,
consider,
yeah.
right?
but it's more intimate with a club
like,
setting.
Once again, we'll talk when I come back from Dream State. We'll talk about Maddox. What my experience at Maddox was versus what you guys are, because I'm gonna have the full. I'm assuming he's on main stage. He's gonna have the full setup and everything with lasers and everything. So we'll see how that vibe is.
I think that's it for
Yeah.
the weekend.
We'll tie some of these shows that we're going to talk to with the main topic, but we're going to move on to announcements, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had just 2 major ones this week. Camel Fat's back.
Camel Fat's back, yeah.
Yeah,
I love Camel Fat.
Yeah.
They definitely improve as a DJ throughout the years. The first time I saw Camel Fat was in January this year.
Yeah, they're
That was a great show.
that was a
Yeah.
good show. So I've always had a little bit. You touched upon it. Camel Fat, amazing producers. Probably some of the best. They just released an album too called Spiritual Milk, which I tell people to check out. Good variety.
That's what the
tour is called.
called,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's in February.
It's in
It's
February.
in
yes.
February. But it's based off their album. But yeah, amazing producers. But I always find their DJ sets were kind of lacking sometimes.
last year.
Like just their mixing and their choice songs wasn't the greatest.
I felt like
but
last
this
year
year's was
great.
good.
Yeah,
No,
really
I
good.
admit, like this year's January set, fantastic. Those 3 hours flew by.
Yeah.
So good.
At least it was a 3-hour set, and maybe the last hour and a half, 2 hours were great.
Yeah.
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 The first hour is always like
It's a build up. It's slow. It's slow.
Any open to close or more than 3 hours,
Especially with
the
melodic techno guys,
melodic
they're
technos
doing like a
and,
build up.
They always have a build up.
Yeah.
And they did play at Electric Island this year
Yes,
too.
they did. Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought that they played better at Electric Island than they were at January. That's why I said that they definitely improve as a DJ.
And it might also be the festival. They only have like an hour and a half, so they can't do that. If they do that slow build up, it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe max.
Pretty
'Cause
much, but like he knows how to like mix, slowly getting the groove of doing more stuff in mixing between the two songs.
Yeah, that's
So that's why, like, I would say he definitely improves. Camel Fat has definitely improved as a DJ.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other one, which is, I want to say it's big, and I know we'll consider it big, is Chase and Status was announced as our like pre-New Year's event at History with Rusko, who's also a legend. But the reason why I want to mention like this one being big is if you've been following the scene this year, even in general at festivals, Chase and Status is blowing up culturally in the sense of there's a big push, and it ties into our topic, of BnB making waves in North America. And they have a couple songs that have kind of gone viral, which is like Badadan. And they released an album this year. Like everyone like has at least heard of Badadan on the festival circuit. And everyone's been doing a remix. And also they got a Boiler Room set. And nowadays the trend is if you get a Boiler Room set, like
You're good.
you're literally like you're reaching to the masses. People will listen to it.
Yeah.
So they released a Boiler Room set in September. And I think right now it's at like almost 4 million views, which is like crazy
Easy
for
for
a
it.
drum and bass to have that many.
It's funny because I went to this birthday party, and I think this couple behind me, this guy was like walking up and like saying, "Ba-da-da-dum," and then I was like, "Oh, yo, do you know they're coming to Toronto in December?" It's like, "Really? What? I didn't know." And I showed them, and like, "Oh, unfortunately, I won't be here." But yeah, people know the song for sure.
Yeah, it's so drum and bass has started in the UK. That's where it's born and raised. I feel like it's caused a little bit of a cultural movement there, just because it's incorporated. One thing UK is really known for is UK rap and the UK underground like culture, like the I guess what we say the streets, like how the streets are. And I think the song draws from both UK culture very well. Because to be honest, the lyrics kind of don't make much sense if you actually listen to it. But
If you read the lyrics too, it's different.
Yeah, exactly. But then hearing it in the song with drum and bass, it's combining those two aspects, which a lot of people hold dear.
Yeah.
And it's just a good hook.
Yeah, it's a very good hook.
So it's actually, I know a couple people, it's going to be one of their first DnB events. I know you bought a ticket too.
Yeah, I did. I caved in.
He caved in.
I caved in. I asked questions, and I knew the answer was yes, and I still asked it, so I bought it.
Yeah. So also, I just want to touch Rusko's there. Rusko's a living legend in the scene, like just old school dubstep. But he's been mostly been doing drum and bass sets these years. So it's a double headliner with Chase and Status being the big one. Chase and Status was actually here last year at Coda too.
Was he?
Yeah, they played a Thursday show. Show. I went. It was great. It was a great show. But this is before
Badadan.
Badadan and all this recent stuff that they've released. So the show, I think, did sell out, but it wasn't like, it didn't seem like you were getting a lot of new rave. It was like the normal drum and bass crowd I found that went there. As I said, everyone has a different opinion on like what Badadan and what they're doing for the scene. Is it good? Is it bad? As I said, you're always going to get those topics saying like, why didn't this song, like why is this song not more culturally appropriate to bring drum and bass to North America than this one? In the end, it's just people find the song catchy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even when I was hearing it as an ID, it was kind of like every single time I heard it, phone up and recording. Like it's just, I enjoyed it. Like they had drum and bass voting this past, like I think it closed. It actually closed this past week. I actually voted Badada as my favorite drum and bass song of the year. I think just because it was like, it did have the most impact. Even though there were some other songs that were really good, I felt it had the biggest impact, so I voted as my number one. Yeah. Should be an exciting show, especially at History. Drum and bass at History?
Drum and bass at History, pretty good.
I don't think it's sold out yet, is it?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
But I think it jumped up in tiers pretty quick.
It didn't sell out immediately. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's continue to the next, the main topic. I guess we're gonna talk about a little bit of speculations, what we think is coming up in 2024, what trends we see going on in terms of music.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think about because, because it's like I feel like we always lag behind Europe. Is the way I always look at it.
EDM capital of the world.
Yeah, it's more culturally based there. But once again, there's certain genres also that we touched upon that are more popular in Europe that almost never see the trance, for example.
Yeah, trance.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you trance is gonna be a 2024 trend. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not happening. It's just
unless Tiesto comes back.
Unless Tiesto plays trance, unless Tiesto is a classic set,
yeah.
Armin and Tiesto do classic set only, then you'll get a whole bunch of people back.
And one of the reasons why they come here and not play classic trance is one of the reasons why trance is dying too.
Well, it's an older crowd too, right?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting shift. As I said, like I feel like for certain genres, especially the two main ones that I think we all agree upon that's probably going to be a growing trend next year is hard techno and drum and bass again.
Mm-hmm.
Drum and bass is actually an older crowd. Jungle. So the thing is, there's new age drum and bass, which is like neuro, more poppy, dance floor, which is what's kind of pushing into North America a bit more. But jungle drum and bass is still
the classic
and probably not making as much of a jump into North America. I find like whenever a jungle set happens, you get a lot of the old heads like a trance set, right? It's an older crowd, different vibe, but like
especially like even when what's that? The 5-hour set, Gabriel and Dresden that came to Coda. Yeah, there's also a lot more.
A lot of people. I know a couple people who came out of retirement for that one.
Yeah,
like really, it's like, I guess I'll come for this classic set.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like those, and it all depends like how we talk about Badadon. It all depends on a hook. Like I feel like the reason why I'm mentioning drum, I've been saying, so for people who have known me for a couple of years, I always have a caption saying drum and bass 2022, drum and bass 2023.
But it's happening.
Like, it's actually legit happening now from what I'm seeing. Like there's many artists to think about. I know we talked about Chase and Status. Yes, they have Badadon. It has a good hook. There's other ones like Headaches. Headaches he's coming in a couple of weeks, which I think that's going to be your first event.
Yeah, it is going to be my first BnB event. I've been trying to look up some of the sets, listening to drum and bass. I think BnB All Star was on my playlist for most of my work weeks. Just to listen, try to differentiate between the different subgenres that Sonny just said. I'm actually excited.
Yeah, it should be a good one. It's on a Thursday again. All these dreaded Thursday events.
But
at Coda.
At least it's close to my place so that I can actually just go back home and sleep.
Yeah. And the other one, I think one of the other ones we were talking about is hard techno.
Techno. I think that's a bigger one.
Before we go into hard techno, would you say like why drum and bass becoming more in the trend is because it's easier transition from the popular genres in North America? Let's say bass.
So that's a good question. Yeah, because
I don't know because I think Monster Cat is like really. Monster Cat does a lot of drum and bass.
They do. They have a couple artists signed to the drum and bass.
Yeah.
I think what it is that. So I've noticed this trend over the years too, like where drum and bass there's been slow. So Lost Lands is a good example.
Right.
The first year I went, they only had literally 4 drum and bass artists at the after party. That's it. Like at the sound camps. One day 4, and then the next time I went, which was last year, they had an entire day dedicated to drum and bass. And then this year, every single day had at least some drum and bass. And they did have an entire day dedicated to drum and bass at one of the stages, but then the APs on the sound camps had like 1 or 2 artists that played drum and bass.
How long has Chase and Status been like?
So that's the funny thing. It's blowing up now. Chase and Status have been around since like the 2008s. They've been around for a while. Yeah, they've been around for a while.
I guess it just takes time for like people to really grow their music and really expose it to the masses.
Because it's because North America is more of a dubstep culture. But what a lot of dub artists have been doing has been incorporating drum and bass into their sets too.
Yeah.
It's more like a quick hook now. Some people, once again, there's always these people saying, why is drum and bass? Once again, drum and bass, it's bass music. It's part of the bass umbrella. You cannot deny it.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone like Excision to ignore it would be like, that's not, like his festival is now incorporating all genres of bass. You have to include drum and bass. It's just now there's more and more people being like, fuck yeah, drum and bass, let's go. Like, it's just high energy and fun. And I'm seeing that trend happen in a lot of North American bass festivals, which is pretty good. But yeah, I think it also has to do with recent reach. I think part of the pandemic might have helped too, where people were doing live stream sets.
Yeah. A lot of people were really growing during that time because everyone is just sitting at home just listening to music.
So what's the best way to do it? Do live stream sets. And as what you mentioned, you were listening to all those BnB 360 sets this year. That's actually a new thing. That hasn't even been around more than a...
Interesting.
So like that now is more appeal. Some of these artists are going on like all the big artists are doing a BnB 360 set now. And
what's that?
So it's something they do in the UK. It's like it's the BnB All Stars, like an actual company.
Yeah.
But they do a BnB 360 set, which is like a very intimate set that gets recorded, where like you're very close to the DJ.
It's like a boiler room.
It's like a boiler room for drum and bass
with an audience.
With an audience.
With an audience. Yeah, with a small audience.
Yeah,
but like all the big DJs are doing it.
Is it like Slam?
The Slam, like I've seen the
I think
video.
the 80
thing.
yeah.
No, because they don't have an audience at Slam.
They don't have an audience.
No, you have an audience.
Not like Horror too.
It's literally boiler room
but
in drum
smaller.
and bass with drum and bass.
Okay.
Smaller and in drum and bass.
Yeah, and intimate.
And all the I have seen like sets from Subfocus, Wilkinson, Haddix, like they all play in that
the same thing.
Yeah.
What I found weird was when I saw Subfocus, because he brought Subfocus, Culture Shock, and Dimensions.
Yeah, into history, right?
To history.
Yeah.
I kind of found a little bit weird because when they're all playing, they played similar stuff, like almost the exact same song.
Yeah, see, not like that. The Worship Night is what Benny's talking about. The Worship Night, they're all under the same label. So they're all going to play a little bit of their same song. Because I went to the one and you went to Worship Toronto. I was actually in Miami during that week. I went to the Worship Miami one. And the Worship Miami one was like, that ended up being, although my back kind of gave out, which kind of ruined it a little bit because there was a lot of raving that weekend. And I didn't prep like how I should have before that one. Like they had Wilkinson as the special guest.
No way.
And then they had the final back-to-back was a back-to-back, like just random. They had Ganja White Night, Apache, like some of these bass artists that some of the listeners will know, do like a back-to-back in drum and bass only. And they don't do drum and bass. Like they don't technically spin drum and bass. They just spun drum and bass because why not?
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of these bass artists are like, I feel like in sets they're like having a drum and bass hook. Excision is doing it now, where there's everyone knows Gold. What is it? What's that song?
Gold.
No, well, not Gold. Gold's the one with
Wait, who's in the song?
No, it's coming. I'm forgetting right now.
Salvation.
No. It's one of the old ones, but pretty much he made a drum and bass version of it.
No, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I think it's a good.
It'll come to me. I'll think about it during while we're talking about this.
Because I feel like bass has a lot of you straight up high energy, so you turn yourself from 0 to 100, right? Whereas drum and bass is a good gradual up.
Yeah.
So when you have that gradual up, it becomes like a journey. The set becomes a journey. It's not like a roller coaster ride, like jumping off a cliff and then come back up and then jumping off the cliff again and come back up.
It's high energy. Like I find like a lot of times with bass shows, like I'm one of the old guys where I'm like at the back just kind of like nodding my head. And then when a drum and bass tunes, I'm going feral. I'm going feral for like a good 10 minutes.
When the crowd is like kind of all chanting the rhythm of the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like when certain songs play, like Mr. Happy is the big one. Da, 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 da. Like
There's no lyrics too. Everyone knows. Everyone's just doing that, so that's why it's great.
And they say
It's fun. The crowd is
EDM.
fun.
And they say EDM and no lyrics, but everyone's singing it somehow.
You'll see at Headaches how ridiculous it'll get.
I'm actually excited. It's my first drum and bass show, so so
hard techno.
Yeah, the other one where I think it's similar thing. I think with hard techno, and I think this one's more recent.
Techno.
And
hard techno.
And techno. Techno. So let's talk about techno first before we jump into hard techno. I think techno's made a lot of big waves. Techno's been around forever.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows, techno's been around forever. But it's made a lot of waves in the North American mainstream, say.
Yeah, like
because of like artists like Charlotte DeWitt. I want to point at Charlotte DeWitt just because she is the first female also, but techno artist to headline Ultra main stage, which is huge. She also first techno artist to close Tomorrowland main stage.
Yeah.
It's big.
Like that is huge.
Yeah, there was a lot of hard techno at Tomorrowland main stage this year. I think,
but not in the closing peak time. That's the thing. That's
yeah.
the crazy thing is that they had Charlotte DeWitt close, which is like fantastic for the scene. Like just techno is becoming a bit more,
mainstream.
appealing
More
to the
welcome,
masses or certain. But then
enough to be in the main stage.
Yeah, and stuff to be main stage. But it depends on the festival too. Like I can't really see. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, EDC did it too. EDC had Charlotte DeWitt on, I think, Circuit Grounds.
Not this year.
That was last year. She had.
they're all main stages. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Those two are main stages, but like they have Neon Garden there. So why would she did a set at Neon Garden from what I remember, and then she did also a quick set at the Circuit Grounds. They gave her a Circuit Ground set because
that weekend was actually.
Was that your EDC?
Yeah, this is my EDC.
Yeah.
So what? Actually, she played at EI in Toronto, and then went to Vegas to play.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Or it was the day after, or something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
It was pretty
that.
wild.
But she did two sets that one. I went to her.
Yeah, she did two sets.
I did the Neon Garden one because that's like the more legit one in my opinion. I did that one. I had to do that one, and I think it was a good set. I like just but yeah, like a techno becoming a bit more mainstream.
And like Ellie Brown or Eli Brown,
right. He's blowing up like crazy.
Up. And the tickets for that Coda show sold out like instantly.
And I think that's also a mix between like it's a little bit once again tech. So one of the genres that everyone knows is popular in the last 2 years in North America is tech house.
Right.
But I think like Eli Brown's going on the more harder side. You know who else is doing that? Oliver Heldens is High-Low alias.
High-Low, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize they played earlier this year in Toy Box.
Yeah, No,
I didn't go.
Didn't we?
You guys were at Escapade. You guys were at Escapade,
Yeah.
and I was at Electric Forest.
Yeah.
But, it's so funny because I was thinking of the most degen thing because it was high-low at Toy Box and we were at Escapade, right? They said, we can actually make it.
No way.
We were thinking about it. We were thinking about it, and then like, nah, that's too much.
Flying to Toy Box also.
Yeah, so we were saying that we can drive to Escapade, do day one, and then fly back for high-low for the AP, and then fly back the next day for day two at Escapade. Nah. That's too degenerate.
Hop on one of those artist jets.
Just letting you know that for people who are friends with ravers, these are the questions they ask.
These are the things you think about.
These are things that they think about. And honestly, if you think about it and if you say it out as a question, 80% of the time, the answer is yes. So
yes,
just be careful of what you ask.
Because realistically, everything makes sense. It's just everything has to align. Is it the smart move? Probably not. Do you want to do it? Yeah.
We all always think with the highest of energy, like we have unlimited energy, that we can last 48 hours just dancing. No problem. But that's the problem. That is exactly the problem.
There's the act of thinking and the act of doing.
Yeah. See, okay, so back to the...
but there's always a lot of thinking involved.
Can we do it? Can we do it? We can do it, but can we do it? Probably shouldn't do it.
So I think like tying back to the topic for same thing with bass tying into drum and bass. Like, would you think that a lot of bass hits would also go into hard techno?
Yes, actually, that's actually you bring up a good point. So
Well, Christine enjoyed A-Rod.
yeah, exactly, and she's technically a bass head too.
That was
My-
her first like hard techno.
I find a lot of I will say, and I've tried to convince some of my bass friends, but they're a little bit stubborn. I'm like, you would love hard techno.
Yeah.
It's literally just as loud, just as like I find it hits harder than bass.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's harder for sure.
Yeah, like it's just like
Actually,
pulsing.
I don't know for sure, but
It's pulsing.
hits
It's a
hard.
different
Pulsing.
vibe, but like
it's a different drop.
Yeah,
but it's honestly just as it's just as sick.
yeah. So yeah, I think moving. So we talked about techno, but moving into the subgenre hard techno, it is making waves in North America for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
because
for
even
sure.
at ARC, there was a couple of hard techno artists, and Sarah Landry was the big one too. And
I wanna see Sarah
Even
Landry.
EI, they had Sarah Landry.
Yeah.
Or EI, and the thing is with I lost my chain of thought. Techno Brooklyn. They're actually doing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
They just recently had this new organizer, Rush. Is that a,
yeah,
organizer,
Rush, and they did I Hate Models.
I
and
Hate
Hector
Models
Oaks-
and
Hector Oaks.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And but like you bring up the hard techno. So like the thing I noticed about the thing about trends in North America is that the big cities will get it first. Toronto, big city, but we are usually not the first to get it.
Oh, yeah.
When we look at it, we look at New York, Chicago, and LA. Usually LA and New York set the standard for I guess what arrives
goes on,
because they
yeah.
have the big and the New York hard techno community because we've even think about going to Blackworks.
yeah.
And we follow all the New York hard techno.
Follow all the New York techno ones, yeah.
Because they get these all-nighters. Like Ogu's did an all-nighter. Oh, unfortunately, he couldn't make it.
That one was canceled.
But Shlomo did his
Welcome back to the devil.
And usually that was the only city that got it.
Oh,
And
didn't Clang Closer?
he did all-nighter too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
My
Unreal Germany or something.
Yeah, and then when we went to Afterlife, we were with the whole flight situation. We were actually going to go see
CLTX. Oh.
and that
and Les too.
and that was actually a German company bridging into North America and like Blackworks is I think Spanish based a hard techno company, and they're doing their first event in North America. So this is why we're saying like for hard techno, it's making big waves in North America right now.
I'm really happy for that.
But one other thing that ties into both of them is I think also, and comes back to streaming, is that these sets are available online.
Yeah.
So they have videos too. For anyone who's listening, go watch a Vernep set, like a live stream of Vernep set.
Yeah.
And you'll realize like how lacking North America is in terms of lasers and setup. It is actually unfucking real. Their setups.
The warehouse is warehouse
it's like
They have
it'll blow your mind.
They also have indoor fireworks too.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like it'll blow your mind, and like yes, we're probably not going to get that in North America in terms of that type of setup, but you're going to get that type of energy, which is which is like insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, those like for
you
me,
definitely people here don't realize that. Oh, if like my friends don't see hard techno, why would I go? But when you go to some of these events, you will meet like people like us if you don't know us, and we go hard.
Yeah.
We go hard. We bring the energy, especially that Fatima Haji when she dropped that Masano the feeling. Oh my god, everyone was screaming, including me. I
you lost your voice.
I lost my voice.
Yeah, I actually lost my voice too.
I screamed so loud it made it into Sonny's videos in the story, and
You just hear a shriek at the end.
yeah, pretty much. I basically like scream off tune. That's how much high energy it is. Like I tell people that in order to enjoy technos, don't listen to the songs. Like don't pull it up on Spotify. Don't do it. Like just have to trust your friends saying that if they want you to go, just go.
Yeah.
It is sometimes repetitive, but that's why it's like you kind of understand it. You know what's coming, and you can follow along. And when the elements come in, you can hear when the elements come in.
But it's also certain artists, right? Like there's in any genre, there's subgenres, right? Like and even in house, right? There's house, straight house, bass house,
Right.
tech house. Tech house is what's popular, but maybe you want like I personally don't like that house like the what is it? More like beach house vibes where it's like poppy house. I actually hate that
tropical
stuff.
house?
Yeah, I actually hate tropical house. Like I just could never vibe to it. But tech house, I can get it down to tech house, right? Even with techno, there's subgenres like you just need that right set and be open-minded, and you could be converted. Like,
Yeah.
It took actually for the longest time I never got techno. I've been raving for a while. I only started listening to techno in maybe like 2016, 2017. And only because I wandered to a set, and I think it was an Adam Bayer set at Ultra at that time. I wandered to the set, and it blew my mind. I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. When it's live, it's different.
Yeah, when it's live, it's different.
Because like the music comes in, and then the drop is not there, and then it becomes silent. The venue becomes silent, and then it drops, and everyone's just going crazy.
Yeah.
And the other thing that a lot of people do not know about techno is like they always have 2 to 3 drops in one song.
Yeah.
And
It's not the old running joke where it's like everyone always jokes, build up takes like 18 minutes and then the drop comes and everyone loses their mind. No. It's usually much quicker than that.
yeah, it's a lot quicker than that. Yeah. And also, I would quote Benny on this. Like he said it multiple times. It's like everyone, you are all a techno fan. You just do not know it yet. Yeah, just go to a set.
Eventually, everyone finds techno.
Because that was me. That was me first too. First time when CZ reopened, I went there. It was techno, and I was like, dude, this is the same shit over and over, bro. It was kind of boring. And then a bit later, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and
Just
sinker.
take all roads lead to techno.
No,
is the
roads,
saying.
yeah.
That should be our shirt. If we do shirts, that's our slogan. All roads lead to techno.
Yeah.
Don't deny it, just accept it.
Yeah. You just don't know it yet. But
So we talked about
you're
those two genres. What do you expect? So I still think tech house is going to dominate the scene in
For sure.
2024. Is there anything you think at main stage, other than like obviously you're always going to have like your Tiestos and Big Room. How Hardwell came out and like he did Big Room techno. Do you see that still blowing up? Because based on Maddox, I think that was pretty popular this year. Like Maddox falls under the Hardwell umbrella.
They work really well together. I think
Yeah.
they produce a lot together.
Yeah, I always thought of Maddox as his prodigy.
Yeah,
He just follows the same line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that could also make bigger waves. Is that Big Room techno?
Mm-hmm.
Making waves. I
don't think trance is coming back.
No, unfortunately,
Trance is not, but trance will still always be in my heart.
Yeah.
Do you guys think dubstep is going to continue on the path it is, or is it going to die down a little bit?
I think it's
No.
just going to stay stagnant.
Stagnant.
Like I don't know. Looking at the scene, I don't know what sound is going to make it blow up even more than what it is. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's everyone has their own sound. There's also the wonky dubstep, but like I don't see it blowing up. I think it just continues on the same path. I think what we're talking about, I think with the bass genre, it's just going to be more festivals are just going to be more accepting. But you know what? Like it could have bigger things. Like one of the big thing about bass is like as what we talked about, like with Chase and Status and like how it's kind of like the cultural thing. I want to shout out Shaq right now. So Shaq DJs as DJ Diesel. And you've probably seen viral videos of him going nuts on the stage.
Yeah.
The man doesn't need money. He does it for free. And he absolutely...
Does it for free or he does it for fun?
He does it for free and fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
He actually loves bass music. And now he runs his own... He just did his own festival, Shaq Bass All-Stars. So like...
So he doesn't get paid. So if you book him, he'll just... He won't just accept it, but he'll be like... he'll take the offer and he'll consider it.
Like, I don't know the full workings of the booking. I just don't know he doesn't care to get paid.
Yeah, no, he has
his
a
people
lot
will
of
get
money.
paid, right?
Mhm.
His people will get paid, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he doesn't need the money.
No, he doesn't need the money.
It's not like there are where it says living. Like no, he's literally retired, doing it for fun. He still does the NBA TNT thing.
Yeah. And I saw one of his interviews where he talks about why he
He likes bass?
why he got into like DJing for bass. He just said that like the crowd, the energy, it just feels like every time when I go to a festival,
It's a playoff game.
it's like a playoff game, man. Everyone's just like so hyped, so energized.
It's a game 7 for him every time he
It's
DJs.
game 7 for him, and on top of that, everyone's just plur vibes,
Yeah.
right? Everyone's friendly, always very welcoming,
especially-
accepting.
Especially when he goes into the crowd,
Yeah.
people love it.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
And it just goes crazy, dude.
And he's right now becoming like a meme, like a good meme. Where like at Electric Forest when he DJ'd, the next day everyone just kept yelling multiple mosh pits, literally because that's what he's doing. And there's ladies only mosh pits.
It's so
Like that's
funny.
literally what people like while we're waiting in line. That's all
No,
people.
it's-
That's the chant people are yelling. Multiple mosh pits.
It's good too, like celebrities and like really famous people like start DJing.
Yeah,
like to
it'll
bring
help the
more-
scene. That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
helps
it
the
brings
scene.
in more fans.
Another one, Idris Elba, not as big, but Idris Elba.
Mhm.
Idris Elba. Idris Elba. He what's a good famous
Who's
movie?
that?
Idris Elba,
Yeah.
is
The actor.
UK
UK actor.
actor. Yeah,
You never heard of him?
He was supposed
What
to
does he
become.
play? What does he play?
He did like that movie, The Watchmen. I don't know what his most famous role is. Oh, he does Heimdall in the Thor movies.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, he was supposed to be
LA
slated as the
sounds
next James
familiar.
Bond.
Yeah, but-
if I showed you a picture, you know.
Oh,
it.
is he? Oh, okay. I think I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. He's bald, right?
Yes, he's bald.
Yes, bald,
yeah,
yeah. He's
He's
apparently
DJs.
super handsome looking too.
Yes, very.
Yeah, he DJs. He's actually a really good
Yeah,
DJ.
he's a
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good
good
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these DJs, Elon Musk DJs, from what I heard, but I wouldn't consider him the crazy popular.
Well, I mean, he had that relationship with RL Grimes, so right?
No, no, Grimes.
Oh,
Grimes.
yeah, no.
Oh, Grimes is a god. Let's get the facts straight there.
I don't know.
Grimes
bro.
is pretty good though.
Dude,
I saw Grimes at Miami. It was pretty good. She and
So
entertainment.
Grimes is good.
R.L.
R.L. Grimes
is a
is
god.
the-
Is a god.
okay.
Is a god. Yeah, that's a. Yeah. Going back to the topic. Yeah, like I think tech house is still gonna stay on the festival main stage. Dubstep is still gonna do what it's doing. Trance, unfortunately,
Yeah, that's,
hardstyle too. Like once again, I think those will still be more.
I
Like-
think trance will make it back if they make more, produce more music in psytrance and tech trance.
You think so?
Yeah, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see psytrance becoming more bigger than it is today.
Really? Because
I can
Because
see it.
here's what I think, right? In North America, people either like slow house, deep house, and junior beats or whatnot, or fast, like bass, techno, and whatnot. And the only trance genre that would match that kind of energy is tech trance and psytrance.
I know tech. See, the tech trance hasn't really made that much of a
Like
wave.
Yeah.
hard trance.
Yeah, hard trance. Like
Yeah,
I
like
feel
hard
like it.
trance.
I like hard trance too, but I feel like it hasn't made that many waves. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, the thing with-
I don't have info on like
What-
why.
what-
Because Psytrance has been around for a while, but
Yeah.
even if you look at local bookings, we have nothing.
Yeah,
have
no,
barely
we
any.
don't
had-
get that here. No,
But the thing is that we had Vinny Vici here and it was sold out.
that was not a good show, man.
So-
but that
so
was
it's
still not a
psytrance.
good show, but it sold out.
So I know what you mean that you do need one of those artists to help bridge the gap.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be the case. Yeah, you just need that one. Yeah, you might be right that Psytrance is like could be a bit more appealing depending on if it's like Psytrance main big room or main room. As that there's that could be one, but I don't see it blowing up like how I see drum and bass and right now hard techno.
The thing with psytrance is a lot of DJs are incorporating psytrance into their mixes, which I think is a good thing.
It's because
personally,
it
I like
turns up
psytrance.
the energy like
Yeah, it brings it up.
Yeah, it brings it up a lot because like of that 180 BPM and it goes fast. Like a lot of people they get caught off guard in sets, right? So if you're playing like normal big room music and then you just throw in a side trance and everybody's like, "Oh my god, like what do I do here?" But and things like that, but they get super hyped. And yeah, so that's the other. I think that's the only subgenre I think that it would try to breach the gap. But if let's say people go into psytrance thinking that all trance is like that, it's not. So if they go into psytrance and they want to drop down from psytrance to like regular trance, the 140 BPM, it's not it.
Yeah, I still don't think it's gonna make waves. I think it's gonna be stagnant where it is.
Psytrance, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna make.
It's not going to blow up, but I think
It's not gonna blow up.
It's going to grow.
It has the best chance, but
Yeah,
like,
it's the best chance.
yeah,
yes.
like another one is like hardstyle, but I don't see that doing.
But the
much.
thing with just psytrance sets is it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's also
a
the
lot.
crowd.
It's a lot. It's
Don't forget,
a
you also
lot.
have to consider the crowd. You have to the psytrance crowd is very. I always make a little joke for about Dream State because I find
It's
every
a
time they
weird
do
group, bro.
it's a very interesting group.
Yeah.
Like it's like I feel like psytrance group is like I feel like a festival at Dream State where they have a psytrance stage, they're always segregated from everyone else because the people who go to the psytrance stage usually never leave the psytrance stage.
Because it's the only thing that
that's the only thing they listen to.
Yeah.
It's a very
That's why I
interesting-
say. That's why I say like if you want to get into psytrance, and then if you want to drop down the subgenre to like regular trance or other trance type of thing, you not feel the same. Like you can kind of classify psytrance its own
Genre? Yeah.
in a way, but it's not. I don't know. Like I think that's probably like you said, Sonny. It's the best chance because it's fast.
Yeah. Right now I think if I did name the top two, it's still drum and bass making more waves and hard techno.
drum and bass and hard
Or
techno.
hard
Those
techno.
are-
And
those are
techno's
the-
still on the same peak rise, right? It's just more for techno. I'm more curious to see what other artists make a Charlotte Duet. Like what other has a breakout like a Charlotte Duet on like a main stage.
Melodic techno.
Oh, yeah, that
is
too.
Coming. Yeah, melodic
Oh,
techno
yeah,
is making a
that's-
lot of waves.
I'm
where
actually,
with-
Actually, that's probably the other one we can consider.
Yeah.
That's like, but melodic techno, I feel like blew up this year. It was like this
yeah,
year's
it was
big,
this year,
big.
like Gorgon City. Actually,
No,
Gorgon City is tech house, no?
Gorgon City is melodic house and techno.
so no, but if I had to say what blew up this year was the Afterlife. All these
Afterlife,
Afterlife
yes,
videos.
yes.
Like, but I for 2024, I just see that trend continuing. I don't see it blowing up. I just see it continuing.
Continuing
do you
to
think
improve.
I don't even know about improving.
Well, they can improve the visuals.
Do you
I
think-
think it's
Yeah.
gonna get stagnant at a point. I think right now it's at a point where it's just like
kinda
you
stagnant.
you know what you're expecting with Afterlife. I think this year with everyone's gone. If you wanted to see an Afterlife set, you've probably gone to go see an Afterlife set. At the
I
strip.
haven't.
Why didn't you? Huh? I'm just I'm just saying, or like a Tale of Us, or like you've seen enough videos where you're like, okay, it makes sense. Myself and Benny have been a great experience. As I said, I think that was the big thing this year that blew up for sure.
I might target Tulum.
because of the Instagram. Do you think we'll see a lot more visuals this year?
You mean
In
the
terms of,
upcoming year?
Yeah. In
They'll
terms
probably
of
improve a
Afterlife.
lot more because right now the only I see Anima is the one that is doing a lot of the visuals, right? So and probably Tale of
A
Us.
lot of other people are doing visuals too. I think the visual trend for melodic techno, because everyone thinks of visuals and Tale of Us, right? Everyone just thinks that they're visuals, but I know a lot of other artists are doing. That'll be the big trend for melodic techno in 2024. Other artists like Adriatic doing their X show.
Yeah.
Math Aim is doing. I don't know if you've seen some of their videos. They've had some visual stuff. Visual and melodic techno are going to go hand in hand together. I think. Another curious thing is, will we see melodic techno at certain festivals like Dream State more? That would be an interesting one to see in 2024.
But okay,
But I think
know,
they're separating it for the most part.
I know I asked this a lot to a lot of people who listens to melodic techno and trance at the same time.
It's trance.
Do you think they're pretty much
Trance.
the same?
It's trance.
Wait, what?
Do you think melodic techno is just another word for trance?
Yes.
Yeah, like Anjuna beats, Anjuna deep, that type of stuff. Yeah,
The trance god Armin van Buren has said the same thing.
sort of similar. Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
find the clip and clip it. But Armin has come out saying that, and even he's booking more. I want to say he's booking more techno acts on the. Yeah, it's just like they don't want to call it trance, so they just stick melodic techno in.
You see, I never watched that clip. Now that you mention it, it kind of like makes me feel like, oh, because I am a baby raver and I notice these kind of things, the similarity between it. That's why I ask these questions. And now that you say that, I mean, also say that question, ask that question, that makes me feel a lot better. Yeah. So it is sort of a replacement. So if you like melodic techno, please come to trance because
We need trance. We need trance to blow up in 2024.
we need trance to come back in Toronto.
We need more trance bookings.
I only like the fast trance stuff.
That's good.
Yeah,
We
that's
all
good.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
we just need
You
somewhere.
just need to be in trance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other genres? Trap. I feel like trap.
What do you think the biggest festival for next year is going to be? That's not Tomorrowland.
That is not the top 5. You mean like the Twin Fields, Ultra
That's
Miami?
underrated.
Underrated.
That's
The most
underrated?
festival, to your knowledge.
That's gonna blow up.
Terminal 5. Burn it.
Extremia, bro. Extremia. I think that's gonna be
I don't know. See, but you're thinking more Europe. Are we talking about more North America or Europe?
anything.
Well, it depends on what people know. Like, I guarantee you half the people don't even know what Extremia is. That,
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
Or Circle Fest.
So like,
But you know what was really under the radar? Kappa Theater Fest.
it is. I still don't think it's very well known. If I had to choose one that I think is gonna make more waves, that's a hard one to think about.
Well, anyways, you can think about it, and we'll talk about it next episode because Tomorrowland was. I was just saying that because Tomorrowland extended their lease at their venue till 2090, which is 2090, bro.
It's
Really
Wait,
that
wait.
far ahead.
So you're saying they're not going anywhere? Is what you're
They're
talking
not going anywhere. 2090. That's. I don't even know if I'm gonna be alive that long.
Yeah.
2090. I'll be.
No, you know what? I'll see you there. And I'll see you there too.
We'll be there for the closing.
The closing ceremony. It's not the closing ceremony of Tomorrowland. It's the closing ceremony for us.
That's it.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk
I
about?
think that's everything for today. We don't have a topic for next week or next episode.
Yeah. I'll be at Dream State.
Yeah, you'll be at Dream State.
A little recap on why Trance 2024.
Yeah, that's
After my
true.
Dream State
Yeah.
experience, we'll talk about it.
No, I just
You should
know.
go to Fatima and let us know how.
I'll hear set. I'll see how the
That
schedule
will-
looks. They haven't even really scheduled. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just saying that like now if this podcast goes bigger when we show more in tune of what EDM music is really about, I think we can bring back a lot of these genres to Toronto. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Trance 2025.
Translate.
We're too ambitious next year. We'll do 2025.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
We'll see you around.
Yeah.
We'll see you around. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.